everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine, and today I'm going to lead you through some balance exercises. So I'm going to show you 6 different things you can do. There are lots of different balance exercises that you can do, and there are ways to make these easier and harder and progress them as you go, but I'm going to show you some basic ones today, and then if you need ways to make them harder, I can give you those in the comments or send them to you separately, things like that. So first we're going to start off with some calf raises. So having strong calves and feet and ankles and toes is really important for balance. And also having that range of motion to be able to go up and down on your toes is really important for balance, because when you walk, you have that range of motion. So I have a sturdy chair here to help me. You can either do them with a sturdy chair or at a kitchen counter or sturdy railing, somewhere where you can hang on, particularly if your balance is needing a little extra help right now. So first we're going to start with some calf raises. So have your feet about hip width apart, and I want you to go up, like think about going up and seeing over something. So you're going to look like you're looking over someone in front of you to try to see. So you want to go up as high as you can on those toes. If you're not able to do this without kind of, falling down or losing your balance, use a chair, use a counter, something for just a little bit of balance so that you can do that full range of motion. If you are able to do it without hanging on, that's a good thing to work on too, to also work on your balance. So when you get way up on those tiptoes, really try to lower down slowly. So we're working on all of those ankle and calf muscles and feet and toes, getting that good range of motion slowly all the way in both directions. Okay, next we're going to do a single leg stance. So you're going to stand on one foot. Now this may be where you need to bring in that extra assistance for balance, especially sometimes if you just get your balance and then you can let go, but using that so that you can really get that balance. So you're going to stand on one foot. Importantly, you want to support that hip. So this is another hip exercise as well. So you're having to use that hip to support you to stand on that one foot. Just lift up that foot off the ground. Your goal is to do this for about 30 seconds. Now, if you have challenges with that, it's okay. You can put your foot down, you can grab, the chair or the countertop, so wherever you are, but work on each foot for about 30 seconds. And you can time yourself, you can set a little timer, you can watch a clock, or you can just count to 30. It doesn't really need to be 30 seconds, but about that to really get those muscles working. So after you've stood on one foot, switch and stand on the other. Now, you want to be standing as tall as you can and standing as level as you can. So if you're over like this, we want to work on getting nice and straight. Level shoulders, level hips, not jutting out to the side like this if you're standing on one, really holding that up nice and even. Remember, we're going to work on this for about 30 seconds. Now, we've done some of these in my other videos, and other times I do try to make them a little bit harder by adding some movement in or tossing a ball or tossing a balloon, and there's always ways to make things harder, but I wanted to give a good basic starting point to really work on the basics. There's always, like I said, there's always ways to make things harder, but we want to work on the basics of balance here. Okay, next we're going to do a tandem stance. So we want to put one foot right in front of the other, right up against that heel and toe, and then standing and holding that balance. So you're narrowing that base of support, which can be really hard, and you're going to feel your foot working this way, and that's okay. That's a good thing. You want those feet and toes to be able to work and hold that balance, getting those muscles stronger, getting them working hard to support you. We're going to work on one side for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to switch sides. So if you're having trouble with this, that's okay. Remember, you want to keep everything nice and straight, your shoulders level, your hips level, looking forward, Sometimes it helps to find one spot, like on the ground, to look at, like I'm outside right now, so a leaf that isn't blowing around, or one spot, like a light. Okay, after you've done one side, we'll do the other side. So put the other foot in front, and many times one side is easier than the other, depending if you have had a knee replacement or a hip replacement, or if you have any pain in one leg versus the other. You may find one side is a little bit easier to balance on this way than the other. Also, if you're right-handed or left-handed, it can make a difference which side might be a little bit easier. We tend to be right-footed and left-footed as well. So it's good to work on both sides, especially if one side is really a lot more challenging. Really work on that side. So we're going to work on this for 30 seconds. Tubby's out here helping me again today. Okay, next we're going to add a little bit of a challenge to that heel toe. And we're going to do some heel toe walking, or like I call it in my gym, some tightrope walking. So many times I'll have people just find a seam, like here in the deck I could follow the seam, but I'm going to go this way so I maximize my camera. So we're going to do that tandem or heel toe walking, but try to keep a straight line, across the room, across the deck, wherever you may be doing this. Really, you've narrowed that base of support, and you're really challenging going all the way across, making each foot having to work independently. And here sometimes I have people want to do this really fast, but the slower you go, the more challenging it is. So you can keep that chair, or you can do this along your kitchen counter, like in your kitchen, so that you have that base of support the whole way. You've got that upper extremity assistance. Or if you do use a walker or a cane, it's okay to use that for this, and really challenge yourself to get that narrow base of support. The other thing you can do is, if it's way too much to do exactly straight in front of each other, you can just do it out to the side just a little, staggered, so it's more staggered like this, and this goes for the tandem stance as well. But you're narrowing that gait, making your base of support much more narrow and much more challenging. So like I said, do this next to your kitchen counter or along a banister, somewhere where you can hang on if this is challenging for you. Okay, next we're going to do some standing marches. So again, you can use that chair or walker. I do have people that I work with in walkers, and I have them do this, and it can be really challenging, and it's a really great balance exercise because it begins to incorporate more core as well and larger muscle groups. So we're going to do standing marches. So when you do a standing march, you're also incorporating that single leg stance. You're having to spend time on one foot, just like when you're walking. You have to spend time on one foot when you're walking. So being able to do that, being able to transfer your weight here, back and forth, nice and easy. If you need to add a little bit extra to this, sometimes in my gym I have people raise their hands over their head and then tap their opposite knee. Nice and slowly. The slower you do these, the more your balance really has to kick in. Your core has to engage. All of those muscles in your feet and ankles and calves have to engage to support you here and hold you steady. So I'm keeping my shoulders level, I'm keeping my hips level, nice and slow each direction. If you find that you can get your knee up, but then it has to come right back down because you're losing your balance, that's okay. This is one you can work on nice and slowly. Do about 10 on each, and I think we've done at least that. Okay, so for the last one, we're going to do another weight shift. So I'm going to have you spread your feet apart, and I call this rock the boat. So we're going to stand, and I want you to transfer your weight over onto one foot, and then you're going to transfer over onto the other foot. So this one adds more of a challenge because you're taking your weight from the center. Almost everything we've done today has kept your weight over the center, and this is taking it off center, off to the side a little bit. Really challenging that lateral movement. Now, if you can't pick your foot up off the ground with this, You can rock your feet back and forth like this. You can rock the boat this way. You're still transferring your weight. If you have an ankle or knee injury that makes this really challenging, don't pick your foot up. But again, do it at the kitchen counter or with this, a sturdy chair nearby if you need to grab on to get a little bit of extra balance. After you do this for a little while, because also then I'm holding my leg out to the side, you're also working some hip, which are also really important for balance. So we're getting some hip stabilization in with this one as well. If you start to feel yourself kind of fall over to the side, try to catch yourself before you grab on, because those reactions are really important in controlling that balance. I've had people tell me the biggest thing, and they feel like when they start to go down, they know they're not going to be able to stop. So being able to stop your weight from continuing to go here is important. So we're going to do about 10 on each leg. Now you can do these all individually. Maybe while you're waiting for a pot to boil, you could do a couple at the kitchen counter. You could do them all at once. And like I said, if you need a more challenging version of any of these, you can message me, and maybe I'll do another more challenging balance video coming up in the later weeks. But go ahead and do these. You can, like I said, do them individually, do them all at once, but try to get through these if your balance is challenged. If these are challenging to you, try to get to them 2 to 3 times a week to really work on that, because falling can lead to so many more issues, and we want to prevent those falls before they occur. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos, all of that, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.